I have the great pleasure of hosting my friend and my professional organizer, Uli Schilling. So my name is Shannon O'Brien. For those of you who don't know me, my organizing problem was that I had stacks and stacks of paperwork. Uli can attest to this. This is actually one of the main reasons that I reached out to her in the first place, is that I'm obsessed with Staples, the store, the superstore, buying files and folders and papers. I don't know what it is, but I was just obsessed with paperwork. And then I also run my own business and I have to keep all these files. So that was my main organizing problem. Maybe a lot of you can relate to that as well. Not only is she extremely talented and just has a gift for this. You'll hear that she is from Germany, and Germans are known for being very precise. And she's also a Virgo. If you're into that, Virgos are known for being very neat and tidy as well. But I have to say and speak from my heart that Uli has been the MVP of my last year. There was water damage in my condo, and she helped me to move out and also now helping me to move in addition to all of the work that we did together, organizing my house, nesting, as I said, arranging clothes and papers. I really don't know what I would have done without her. So it's a gift for me to be able to share her knowledge and expertise with you tonight. And I hope that you can take away some value as well and implement it into your own life. I share Uli with everybody that I meet, including my mother. The picture in the top right-hand corner is her garage. And we did this project in my parents' house in Cape Cod. So she's a secret weapon that I'm very happy to share with all of you. So we thought we would do a bit of an agenda for you today. We want to make this relevant to you. We want to make sure that you get something out of it. And something that Uli and I did together last week, we just happened upon it, and we would love for you to participate. We're going to start with an exercise, and this is organizing our wallets. So if you have your wallet nearby, grab it, or if you have to go and get it, feel free. But I know that I had looked through my wallet, and we went through in sequence, so we're going to do this exercise together. But I had a whole bunch of extra stuff that I needed to address. And so we'll do that now. So we'll start with an exercise. And then we're also going to transition into 3 topics that we think are going to be very relevant for each one of us. The first one is your desktop or your work space. And this is very important now that most of us are working from home. The second topic we're going to be discussing that probably relates to all of us is having a junk drawer. The infamous junk drawer and how to address that. And then the third topic we're going to discuss is our refrigerator. Uli, how about you start us off with this exercise, the wallet?
I think it really helps on a daily basis to know that at least your wallet is organized, and it's such a small little thing. It shouldn't take that long, even if you have to do it like once a week. So mine is pretty much organized all the time. I usually start with people taking out your cash money. So mine is all straight. A lot of people's money looks like this in the wallet. You can't see what it is. You don't know which one is what. So the first thing is, let's uncrumble your cash, make it all straight. If you have the big wallet where they fit this way, it's nice to have them all sorted. Usually I go by the small dollar bills and then go with the numbers higher into the back in an order. So it's not like a $5 between a $20 and then a $1 is all over the place. And the same with the coins. I usually keep only a couple coins in my wallet just because they're heavy. And I don't like my wallet to get all bulgy. If there's coins in it, it will be completely out of shape at some point. So I unload my coins every 2 weeks, put them in the piggy bank or whatever your usual ritual is. So if you guys straighten up your money, the next thing would be to take your receipts. Take all your receipts out. Depending on why you're keeping them, I usually divide them by things that need to be returned. They should go with the item that needs to be returned. If it's other receipts that you need for like accounting purposes or just keeping them for your record, they could stay at home. They don't need to walk around in your wallet every day. And the only receipt that I keep in my wallet is the wonderful CVS coupons that are about 2 miles long. But I usually, when I get them in the same day or week, I cut out whoever I want to keep. So mine's is usually just the extra bucks. The other stuff usually never applies to me. So they go in the recycle bin. So that way I don't have a wallet full of receipts. So the next thing we can do is your loyalty cards. So loyalty cards I call, Stop and Shop, Shaw's, Starbucks, any of those cards where you obtain points. I don't know how many people still use them. A lot of times you have your phone number attached to it, so you don't even need the card anymore in your wallet. So that's one way to get rid of things that take up room. Like I don't have my CVS card with me anymore. I just use the phone number. Starbucks, nobody needs to walk around with the cards. Like they can stay at home. They're really obsolete at this point. So I flip my wallet around. I have one side for all the loyalty cards on one side together, or at least cards that are not credit cards. And then I have all my credit cards on the opposite side, on the side where my money is. It's like I'm dividing my wallet into two little departments. I know some people keep credit cards at home. They don't bring them because they use them too much. It's really a preference. I guess they teach us in Germany not to use the cards, even though we have them. There's really no reason to have business cards in your wallet. I would put them right in your phone or keep at least the little card holders at home. So once it's in your phone, you can use the app to put the business card in. They used to scan it, but you can also just manually put it into your address book so you have the people handy.
Shall we transition to the first topic of your desktop or workspace?
So the first essential for your work area at this point is to really keep it minimal. I try to not have anything on my desk but my laptop, maybe a pad and a pen if I had to jot down notes, but there's nothing else. There's no trinkets, no picture frames, no flowers. There's nothing that's distracting me from doing my work. So everything else that I could be needing, like a stapler, a hole puncher, paper clips, binders, tape, anything that you would need for your work, I have in drawers underneath. I must say I picked my apartment to make sure I have a built-in desk with drawers, which not everybody can do, but when you live an organized life, you look out for those things. Your work gets done way faster. And before I didn't have the built-in desk, I had my own desk, but I made sure I have drawers to hide all those things. Just because in a small space, you don't want to see all your work stuff during the day. And those things they're cluttery, there's stuff over here, everything gets dusty. So the emptier your desk is, the easier it's to clean up too. Like just wipe it down after you're done if you spill something accidentally. So if there's not too much on the surface, the next thing that I try to eliminate is all the messy cables. People with desktops where, especially you have to have two screens, there's a lot of wires, there's the computer wires, there's a lamp, there's a fan. The best is to try to eliminate all the stuff that does not need to be on the desk and start fresh. Like once you want to fix your cable mess, you really have to start from scratch. The best thing is to unplug everything and then put things in the order where they're on the table or on your desk, and then run the cables behind and try to hide them as best as possible with, clips to hide them together, because that can, it's a distraction. You're working and you're looking at all this cable, it will distract you. So if there's a possibility to hide those, that would be perfect. So for everybody who's working at home, I say, even if you're lucky and you have a desk area or an office, still try to clean it up every day, like as if you were leaving work. Put your things away, put your personal items away, close your desktop, turn it off if you can, file your papers away. If there's a lot of, paper that is accumulating during the day, try to organize them where they're supposed to go, at least make neat and nice piles. Put your pencils away, close the pencils, all that stuff. So you understand there's a end to your workday. Your workspace might be right next to your kitchen, and you start cooking and you're still looking at all your work stuff. It will affect you. You feel like you never left work. Hide stuff if you can. Put it in a bin, close the door. Worst case, cover it up with something so you have to see it, just so mentally you are not looking at the stuff. If you think about it, it's also a nicer start. When you start the next morning, you have a clean surface. You're not thinking about maybe the bad day you had the day before. It's all forgotten, it's cleaned up, it's put away. So you have a fresh start the next day with a nice clean surface.
Now we will transition to the infamous junk drawer.
There's a difference between a kitchen junk drawer and a bathroom junk drawer. It's real estate you could use for something more important. And most of the stuff that's end up in the junk drawer is just not put in its right place. So if your house or your home is moderately organized, all those things have a different home. Like if you look at this picture, there's stamps, there's receipts, there's hair ties, there's pen and pencils. All that stuff is in multiple places in everybody's apartment or house. So a lot of those things can be put away. It's just a drawer where everything ends up because nobody wanted to go the extra steps to put it in the right place. So if you can, first of all, in order to fix this, everything has to come out. Everything has to come out of the junk drawer. Clean it out. Think about it. What would be a good thing to live in there? If it's in the bathroom, it's probably not a good spot. But no matter where it is, there should be something else that makes more sense for this drawer. Maybe your kitchen towels never had a room, never had space, or all your drawers could use a little bit less stuff and you just use one more drawer for kitchen items, space things out a little bit so you can see them better. But in a perfect world, all those items don't need to be in this drawer together. They have no relations to each other than they didn't get put away. So once you take everything out, we just sort, the likes with likes, like all the paper stuff, all the stamps and little notes, and people keep their notes that came on flowers and all that stuff that can all go together and figure out what to do with it at some later point. Pencils can go in the office or, kids' room, wherever there's a homework area. Hair ties can go back in the bathroom. Wherever people keep those things, there's no need for them to be in a junk drawer. And then when I usually repurpose this drawer, the next step would be measuring it. Measure the drawer, and then I figure out what kind of dividers I might use, but I need to know what's going to live in there. So if it's masks and hand sanitizer and maybe keys, then I wouldn't need too many dividers. The masks usually just lay on top of each other. The hand sanitizers could be small ones. They could have a small divider to put them in, and keys could be in a dish or a divider if that's some item that would go in that drawer. In the great scheme, there's no need for a junk drawer whatsoever.
I'm going to transition to refrigerator.
The majority people's refrigerators are too small. Like no matter what, they're too small. People either shop too much or they are made too small, or the items that you purchase are too big. That's how I started, buying less and less. Just so, because I'd like to see what I have. The picture is beautiful. I know a lot of famous people. We've done refrigerators like that where we have all the bins and everything is color coordinated, but it's literally somebody's job to keep this up every day of the week. Normal people don't have staff to just keep your fridge color coordinated. Even when I was a house manager, I had 7 refrigerators that I was in charge of. I wouldn't have time to unload all those things into each of those bins. It looks very nice, but in reality, your food will go to waste before you finish eating it. It's not sustainable. The only thing I say it's nice, I have the egg divider that looks pretty. I can see faster how many eggs I have left instead of keeping them in the original packaging. But the rest of the bins is literally just for looks. And if you have nothing else to do but organize your blueberries on a daily basis. So I only recommend to have a couple dividers. So you can divide, let's say, dairy products from meat products. You have like the little juice boxes is nice for kids so they can grab them themselves if you have a little bin for them to reach. But in general, it doesn't really work to have all those dividers. But again, if you want to organize your fridge, it goes the same like the junk drawer. You have to take everything out. Everybody got to come out. You wipe down your shelves, and then you organize your categories. So to the point where it makes sense. Some people like all their breakfast items together on one shelf so they can see them quick. I personally have my dairy things together. I have my fruits in one area, and I have things that I would cook with in one area. And then always keep some room for leftovers or for takeout, because a lot of times there will be stuff that needs a home that you might not think about once you start. So after you take everything out, if you want to go with those dividers, you have to start measuring. It's really, there's so many different options. There's so many containers. You would have to start measuring and pick your bins, and then you can start loading things into those categories. It's a lot of work. So what I've realized is the best thing is also to, when you go shopping, to first check what's in your fridge. Like, don't go shopping. It's like, oh yeah, I have to go on every Saturday. I go shopping. I go grocery shopping, and people just run out the door and buy whatever they buy all the time, and they never check what's already or what's still in the fridge. It's all the way in the back or in the freezer. It's like piles on top of each other. Many years ago, because I was in charge of 7 refrigerators, we started making grocery lists, and they were shared with each other on the phones. So whenever anybody, let's say on the 3rd floor, is running out of milk, they would add it to the grocery list. So I've taught this to a lot of even small households, when it's just, you and your husband or you and your wife. If everybody's on that same grocery list and you're sharing it with each other, you're pretty much on top of what's going on. Just somebody has to be in charge of deleting it when you're going to the store, and then adding it when you finish it. A lot of times the husbands forget to add, they don't take the empty container out of the fridge in the first place, and then they forget to add it to the list. But, it's one way to be a little bit less wasteful is when you have a digital list on your phone, and then you use that one to go shopping. You literally buy what's on your list and not what you think that you need, because you don't know. What I usually do is I add during the week, 7 days in a row, I add stuff to my grocery list, and then depending on how big the emergency is, I will go shopping for those items that are on my list. That way I have a little bit less waste. I don't over shop. I don't buy stuff that I still have because it's not on my list. The other thing that works pretty well is when you plan your meals according to what's in your fridge. Instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to cook this and that today, but I don't have any of the ingredients, so I have to go shopping and buy that stuff.
Uli had mentioned that one of the hardest things for her clients is where to start, how to get started. And something that we do in these meetings as well is offer a challenge of the month. And I'll offer this to each of you. You've probably done this before, but organizing and cleaning just one drawer. Just one drawer. Maybe it's a sock drawer. That's a really easy one. Throwing away old socks, getting rid of the excess. You're trying to avoid it going to, a landfill, and trying to recycle it. But that's the challenge of the month, to help you feel empowered and know where to get started. Uli had also suggested that maybe starting with your foyer or your entryway, and the last place that you leave before you exit your home, maybe focusing on that area so that you feel empowered and not overwhelmed. We didn't want to overwhelm you with information, but hope you feel empowered. If you need a ninja, Uli is my secret weapon and has been so helpful this past year since I've known her. And here is her contact information. You can reach out to her directly via text or email or her new Instagram. I am the Organized Ninja. And of course, you can reach out to me if you know my contact information. I can introduce you or answer any questions and tell you more about Uli. But she's truly been life-changing. I can't even describe how much she has been helpful to me and my family over the past year. So I really appreciate all of you being here tonight. I hope that you gained some useful, valuable information to apply to your own homes. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening and your week ahead. Thank you again.
Thank you.